Hey guys, Ricky back with Eastern Wild. I put out a camera video a couple months back detailing what I run for my self-filming setup. And I kind of detailed a little bit of this in my fourth arrow unboxing, but I felt like my quality of my footage just wasn't there. So I'd done some research over the last couple months and learned that my little Sony Handycam, that Sony A6700, wasn't really meant for what I was exposing it to. Hence low light and demanding quality footage from it. And I was taking my iPhone, I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I was taking that footage side by side and the iPhone was blowing it away. A lot of that is a contributing factor to the sensor size in the Sony A6700. So I looked at moving up for quality footage, and the more that I looked, it really came down to your sensor size. So don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the little Sony Handycam was a 1/4 sensor, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a tiny little sensor. So your sensor size is what allows light to be placed onto your sensor to be projected through your camera. Lighting is everything when it comes to photography or videography. So you really have to be very cautious and cognizant of the sensor size that you're getting. So the more that I researched, it came down to a better camcorder or a mirrorless camera. You have two types of mirrorless cameras. You have, in the DSLR, you have an APS-C crop sensor and you have a full frame sensor. Now, the APS-C is not as large as the full frame, but it's larger than a 1-inch. So I ultimately decided to go the mirrorless route. Some drawbacks to running a DSLR mirrorless camera is obviously the operation. It's a little more difficult. You have to do some studying up to kind of see what your settings need to be. And I quickly realized you really can't run this camera in auto, especially the closer it gets to lower light. You've got to learn how to use your settings. There's drawbacks to that though. You know, do you want to be tinkering with settings when it's crunch time versus just running auto and letting it do its thing? Or do you want to risk running your manual settings, running the camera on manual mode and getting the best footage that you can get? And that's what I ultimately chose. So just to kind of go over what the camera gear that I got, I bought the Sony A6700. That is a APS-C crop sensor camera, and I am super impressed with it. Let me grab that out of my bag here. So this is the Sony A6700. And you can see got some things done to it here. So this camera runs roughly $1,400 to $1,700 new, I think. And then for your lens, this is the Sony EPZ, PZ standing for power zoom, 18 to 200 millimeter. And it's a f3.5 to 6, I believe. And that F is your f-stop. And as you zoom your camera in, per se, the more you zoom in, the higher your f-stop goes. And that disallows light into the camera. It also, it's the power zoom. And I run this with a remote. I run the Sony Bluetooth remote, and it's flawless. It really reminds me of the Sony AX43s. I think it was the VPR1 remote, which is a wired remote. And this Bluetooth remote, there's no lag, it stays connected, and it operates the zoom, the focus, the shutter, so you're able to hit your record button. It's a really nice remote, and I'll show that here in a moment as well. I put a small rig cage on here. You can see it goes around the entire body of the camera here. And this is just my Arca Swiss plate that comes with my fourth arrow camera arm. And I've done some modifications to it. I put a K&F Concept sunshade on here. I had the K&F Concept that I bought off of Amazon, and I put some Velcro here and zip tied it so that Velcro can't come off. It's got an adhesive back, but Velcro, when I was trying to pull this off, this was trying to come off with it. So I took 3 zip ties there and strapped it down to the cage on the camera. And now when I take that off, I can literally take and stick it on the side because I have Velcro on here, and that's on there. You can see that. There's your Velcro. So I can literally just take and strap that on the side, and now it's out of the way. It's not swinging around, making noise. And that happened before with my Sony A6700, and I just had to take it off. So there, it's on there, it's good to go. I also put some cold shoe mounts on here. The small rig camera cage has little 1/4 inch by 20 holes all the way around it where you can put whatever you want, which is really cool. So over here, I run a battery bank to operate the camera. Right here, it's got a built-in shoe, and I use this for my lighting, for when it's dark outside and you need lighting. I can install that on top of the camera, and I'll show that as well. I can use either one of these, and then I put one over here, and that's where my mics go. This camera, again, it does really well in low light, and I'm talking this camera can see better than I can with my human eyes as darkness starts setting in. Now keep in mind, you have to run the manual settings to get the most that you can out of the low light performance of this camera. So one thing I've noticed is as it gets to where legal shooting light is ending, to where you really can't even see the pins on your bow, the settings that I run this on in the manual mode is I think it's a 1/60 shutter speed to get more fluid motion, 6400 ISO, and I keep the f-stop at 3.5. So to kind of go over some of the accessories that I have for this, you get some of this out here. Here's the accessories that I run on the A6700. So I told you this has got cold shoe mounts that I've installed from small rig all over this. So just to start, we have a Rode Video Micro 2. This is a shotgun mic, and it does a phenomenal job for the size. You can see that thing fits in the palm of my hand. It's got the windscreen on it so you don't get any wind noise. I bought the Rode Y splitter so I can run a shotgun mic and my lav mics. I'm actually wearing one of my lav mics here. You can see that. So what'll happen is I have this attached with a Rode dual cold shoe. So we will put that here. We'll screw it down. Then I'm actually using my DJI wireless mic on my phone to film this, but you will attach that here. You'll slide your receiver down here. You'll plug these in here on the side. So just for reference, you'll plug your main shotgun mic in there. Then you'll put your receiver here, plug that in, and now you've got your shotgun mic for your ambient noises, say anything out in front of you. So deer moving through the woods, turkeys moving through the woods, squirrels, you can hear footsteps, anything in the leaves, you can hear birds chirping. So this is your ambient noise, and this is going to be for your voice. And a lot of guys will just run one mic, and I highly suggest running 2. Again, this will capture everything in front of you, and this will capture you, and if anyone's with you, it gets your voices, and it makes for much better footage. So I highly recommend that. This is a Ulanzi metal phone holder, but I bought this for my power delivery bank, which I'll go over just in a moment. But that is going to go on the side here. Tighten that down. You can put the battery bank here on the side, and you can plug it in, and now you're running this with external battery power instead of relying on the smaller, I think it's the MPZ 100 batteries that this camera comes with. So there's that. And then lastly, this is for low light. This is for when it's dark outside, you're doing recoveries, you're trying to follow blood trails. You can literally put this here on your cold shoe, tighten it down, and now you have lighting. And you can see when I spin this around here, it has a battery here. The battery's not attached, it's in my backpack. But I bought a 2-pack of batteries for these, and I think they last like an hour each. And this has a dial here on the back. You can see here, you push it to turn the light on, and you twist it to adjust your brightness. and this thing's phenomenal. It also comes with a couple shades, filters for your lighting, and I just keep the clear one on there. I think it comes with a yellow as well. So that's how I run my A6700. Again, this light won't be on there unless it's dark outside. So this is how it looks in the tree as we're hunting. So what am I connecting this to in the tree? I was using the JRO Outdoors camera arm. This is the Jeremy Riggin Outdoors, and that thing was awesome, and I kind of miss it for the weight, but it didn't do very well with a heavier mirrorless camera. This thing weighs at least 3 times as much as that AX43 did. So I had to upgrade camera arms, and I was actually very happy to learn that I was accepted as a pro staff member for Fourth Arrow camera arms. So I'll kind of pull that stuff out and show you what I'm running. So this is your base that you attach to the tree here. This is my fluid head, and again, this stuff's very hefty. And this is the Talon Micro triple arm. And you can see here, it's got the branding there on the side, Fourth Arrow right here. And here, it's got 3 sections, and the last section here, really, really cool. It has rubber. It has rubber on it, so if you bang it against anything, you're not getting a loud pingy noise. It's just a really dead, you can hear that, versus if you took and like, so that's pretty cool that Fourth Arrow thought of that. So the way that this is gonna work is you're going to open your talons there. You're going to hook this into the tree. So this is gonna go into the tree as such. Then your camera arm is going to sit down in that. Okay, so we're going to sit that down there, and then you're going to, and I've got a PGY Tech quick release. It's just got a button release, and you can lock it when you put it on there. So you're going to put this on. That's it. It just goes down on there. Now that's locked in, and then you're going to put your camera on here, and now you're set. You just twist this little knob here on the bottom, and that locks you in. And now you can see here, you've got full motion around the tree. Right here is this is the Sony Bluetooth remote. It's called the Sony Commander Bluetooth remote. And you can see it's got your autofocus button. It has a custom function button that you can program. I think I've got this one set to zebra or peaking, for my peaking on my focus, or zebra for my ISO and the lighting. It has your shutter button, and then it has a plus and minus for your zoom. And here on the side, you have a zoom and focus switch. So this is awesome. And the way that I've got this on here, I took and put some Velcro on the back of the remote and Velcro on the fluid head arm itself. Stuck that down there so it kind of sticks. And then I got some little Velcro loops, strap loops here, that I cinched it down, and now that thing's on there and tight. And then I also have a GoPro remote on here because I run 2 GoPros, and I can literally sync them together, press the record button, and they both come on at the same time, and you're not up here having to hit a button here, and if I've got one behind me, hit one here behind you. This thing is awesome. And battery for days. I don't think I've ever run out of battery on this thing yet. Now to talk about the GoPros. I run GoPro Hero 11s, and these things are awesome. Just to kind of detail some of the things that I've done. To eliminate wind noise, I bought some little dead cats off Amazon, and I've got 2. I'm recording on one here, but they're identical. They're both GoPro Hero 11s. I've got the same modifications. So I've got the wind screens on the mics here to deaden that noise, and these things work great. I've got some little screen protectors on my screens here. I'm pretty rough on my equipment when I'm in the woods, so I have to keep running the screen protectors on them. And then I also have little Teleson doors here, And those doors are awesome because when I'm running a battery bank or I'm running my GoPro Volta during turkey season, I can plug this in and it gives it power for like 5 or 6 hours with that GoPro Volta, and probably even longer with my bigger battery bank. So it's just a really neat thing here. I run really big cards. I've got like 20 hours of 4K footage recording time on here when I'm running 30 frames per second. I think they're 512 for SanDisk Extremes. So they're the really good SanDisk cards that I run in these for my SDs. And I've got some accessories. I have right here, this is the thing, it's called the Gooseneck, and this is by Ulanzi. I like a lot of Ulanzi stuff. But you can disconnect that. You can take and put your GoPro just on this. If you don't need that extra reach, you can clip it then. Like, there's so many things that you can do with this. And I run these Ulanzi quick disconnects on both my GoPros and all my accessories. I bought all the components to set up on all my accessories, so I've got probably 10 or 12 mounting solutions between the two of these cameras, and I can literally, you push a button here on the side and twist it and put it back down and twist it, and it's locked in place. And that is so much better than having to fool with the screw on the side to unscrew, mount it to another mounting solution, and screw it down. That's a pain in the rear. What I'll do with this mount is, if there's a limb close to me, I will take and put this on the limb. So there's a limb there, and then you can move this around however you want. I actually took a couple links out of this to shorten it, but now you've got a GoPro that catches your footage behind you, or if it's on the side over here, you've got that. And then with my other GoPro, this is always on handlebar mount by GoPro, and you can see I've got, like I said, I've got the Ulanzis on all these. So we'll remove it from the gooseneck, and now we'll attach it to the handlebar mount. And let me tell you what this handlebar mount is awesome for. And it's not necessarily handlebars, because I'm a deer hunter, right? So you literally take this and unscrew it. I don't know if you can see that there, but it opens up and it's got this rubber grommet in here, and this fits awesome around your carabiner on your tether if you're saddle hunting. So I will take and tighten that down around my carabiner right here in front of me, and you know your tether, as you're moving around the tree, your tether follows you. So this GoPro is always watching me. So you can imagine it's right here in front of me, and it's catching all my action, whether I'm drawing, if I'm talking to the kid. It just gives another shot that's right here in front of you, and that is so cool. I love that feature, love it. So that's the handlebar mount. Also run the Tellison backpack clip. This backpack strap stays on the strap on the Sitka tool bucket or on my turkey vest. And I bought one of these Joby Gorilla Pod mounts that are awesome. It can act as a tripod. You can see, you can stand it up however you want there. Like, it can be a tripod. You can wrap it around anything. Check this out. Like, you can wrap it around, say if you're in the tree and you got limbs, you could literally wrap that around anything if that was a limb, and you're in. You got another action shot right there. But this thing, it's also a really nice grip. And then this mount here that comes with it clips right into the Tellison mount there. So you can see there, it clips in and you're good to go. And what I'll do is I will run my GoPro on this as I'm walking in the woods, and that captures all of my movements as I'm walking through the woods. I can angle this down and catch my footsteps as I'm walking through the woods. I can keep it out in front of me where it shows where I'm walking, what I'm walking into. And then if you need to take it off and do some kind of interview, you can take it off, do your interview, show what you're looking at here, and then clip it back in. It's always right there at hand's reach. But that is, again, why I really like those Ulanzi quick releases. Those things are super cool, man. So for battery solutions, I have 5 of the, let me see here, MPFZ 100. This is what operates my main camera with that Sony A6700. I have 5 of these, and it's always good to have these. Again, I run that, it's a Anker, I think it's a 26,000 milliamp hour Anker power delivery battery bank. I run that for my main power in the tree, but these are always good to have as backups in case something goes wrong, and I keep 5 of those in my backpack. So with that power delivery system, with that A6700, it has really strict requirements. So in order to run that with a battery bank, the battery bank has to be rated at 9 volt, 3 amps. I'll link that in the description for the one they gave me, so you'll know what, if you run this kind of system, you'll be able to see what that battery bank is that they recommended. For my GoPro batteries, I sold off all of the regular batteries that I had from GoPro and went with their Enduro batteries. And these are rated to do much better with heat dissipation as well as running in cold environments. So these Enduro batteries last a while. They'll shoot for probably 40 minutes of 4K footage, but then I keep 5 of these in my backpack as well. And one really cool thing that I got was this Teleson, and this is not how this comes. This is all black. I just took and put some Bottomland adhesive tape on here and put a GoPro sticker on it. But this thing is a battery bank by Teleson, but I keep this with me because you can pop your batteries in and out of this, and you can see they're green right now, but this charges your GoPro batteries. So say you've shot and you're out of a battery here, you can pop this battery out. Now you got a fresh battery. You can put this back in there, and now you can see this one's red. So you close it up, you put it in your pack, whatever you're doing, and this is charging your battery. So I've always got charged batteries no matter what for my system. These are the batteries that I got from my light, and that light is a Neewer brand. And this is an MP550 battery. I got 2 of these, and again, that is to run that light for when you're in the dark or extremely low light conditions, and that'll give you some external light that will brighten up everything around you so you've got some good footage. So I got 2 of these, and I think they run about an hour each at about 75% on your brightness on that light. So super cool there. When you're running just this, you have to plug it onto you somewhere, and it shows. And I'm just a little bit of a sucker for that stuff. And you've got that big windscreen on it, and it's just an eyesore. So I went with the wired mic that I can plug into the top of this, and now it kind of just disappears, especially on this black shirt, and you can't see it. So that was a really cool thing. It comes with the lightning connector for an iPhone, and it also comes with the USB-C connector for the iPhone, which connects straight into your receiver. And it just gives you really, really good clear audio. So I'm a big fan of the DJI. Some people run the Rode Wireless Go or Rode Wireless Go 2s, their newer version, but a lot of people seem to really like the DJI better, and the DJI have better sound than the Rode Wireless Goes. So I went with the DJI for my wireless mics, and these things are incredible. The last thing that we're going to talk about is the Sitka tool bucket. And if you're not running the Sitka tool bucket, what are you doing? I'm just kidding. This thing is awesome. It has your straps all over it to tie your gear onto it, especially late season when you want to run your layers on there. And then it also just has options for days to store your stuff. Like here's where I run my wireless mic accessories. This is where I run my batteries. And then down here, you can see, I'll open this up a little bit and pull some of this gear out. So you can see in here that I have, well, push that ambient down. I keep an ambient hoodie in here because that thing's awesome, man. But that's for, I've already reviewed that. You can go back and check out my Sitka reviews for the pack, the Sitka gear that I run for my outerwear. So you can see in here that I have a cereal box. I'm not kidding. I have a cereal box. And that cereal box literally holds my camera. So you can see here I've got my Rode shotgun mic, and then my camera literally fits right down in there, man. And you can see I keep all my accessories. I keep my battery bank holder. I keep a little thing to, you can use this to kind of blow off your lens if you got dust on your lens. I keep that in there. You can see here, this is my SD cards that I keep in here. So I keep all my camera accessories for the most part right here in this, and then you can literally take your camera, sit it down there, boom, and this thing right here just fits perfectly. Sits right down beside of it, and then you take it and you stick it in there, and it just lives right there in the bottom of my pack. How cool is that? You really don't want to run $2,500 worth of camera gear just in your pack when you're cinching metal stuff like your platform and sticks down. You're cinching it real tight against that. So this protects your camera gear. Wraps up my camera gear, the upgrades that I've made. Now, I'm really pleased with the upgrades. It just weighs a little more. But with the weight that you save, you sacrifice. And then with the weight that you gain, you sacrifice. So the one thing that I really like about running like my new Fourth Arrow stuff here is while it's a little heavier, it's way more robust. It handles weight distribution better. Like this right here, I don't know if you can see it, but that has counterweight in it. So with that big heavy lens on my A6700, it won't allow it to just droop. It'll bring itself back. With anything that you do in life, there's sacrifices, and that same thing goes with your camera gear. So I really enjoy all this stuff, and I really hope that it's helped you to kind of see how I operate things and what I do, and maybe it can help you to kind of organize yourself and get your things maybe squared away to where it can improve your ability in the woods as well. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, make sure you reach out. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, drop some comments below. I'll hit you back, I promise. And again, if you have any questions whatsoever, shoot me an email to easternwild@outlook.com. I'll get back with you all as soon as I can. So with that, I'm gonna wrap up this video, and we're gonna go back upstairs because we got Kentucky kicking off at 12:45. So we got game time about an hour. So you guys take it easy. I hope you all are doing well in the woods, and I wish you the best. God bless you guys. Eastern Wild is out.